Grok 4.20 beta just dropped, and it's not one AI anymore. It's 4 agents working together on every single question you ask. I've been testing it since launch, and most people are completely sleeping on how powerful this actually is. So in this video, I'll break down every Grok mode, show you how the new 4-agent system actually works, and give you prompt tips to get way better results. Let's get into it. The interface walkthrough. When you open up Grok, whether that's on the web at grok.com, on your phone, or through the X app, you're going to see a clean chat box that says, "What's on your mind?" Pretty standard. But right above it, there's a drop-down menu, and this is where most people glaze over and just leave it on auto. Big mistake. Click that drop-down and you'll see 5 modes: Auto, Fast, Expert, Grok 4.20 Beta, and Heavy. There's also a custom instructions option tucked in there, which we'll get to later because that one's a sleeper feature. If you're on Super Grok at around $30 a month or X Premium Plus, you get access to everything. But here's where it gets interesting. Even free users are now getting access to the multi-agent features, which is a pretty big deal considering what this system can actually do. Deep dive. Every mode explained: auto mode, the smart default. Let's start with auto, because this is what most of you are probably using right now. Auto is basically Grok making the decision for you. If you ask something simple like what time is the Super Bowl, it routes you to the lighter, faster model. But if you throw something complex at it, like analyze the pros and cons of 3 different investment strategies, it quietly escalates to the heavier models behind the scenes. It's convenient, sure, but the problem is you're giving up control. Auto doesn't always guess right, and sometimes a question that seems simple actually needs deeper reasoning. That's why knowing the other modes matters. Fast mode. When speed is everything. Fast mode runs on Grok 4.1, which is the lighter, quicker model in XAI's lineup. Think of it as your everyday conversational mode. You want a quick definition, a brainstorm list, a casual back and forth? Fast is your go-to. It responds almost instantly, and it's great for those moments when you just need an answer, not a dissertation. But here's the trade-off. Fast cuts corners on complex reasoning. If your question requires multi-step thinking or deep analysis, Fast might give you something that sounds right but misses nuance. Keep that in mind. Expert mode. When you need Grok to actually think now, Expert mode is where things level up. This forces Grok 4, the full, deeper model, on every single query. No shortcuts, no routing to lighter models. Every answer goes through extended chain of thought reasoning, which means Grok is actually working through the problem step by step before giving you a response. Use Expert when you're doing anything that matters. Detailed research, multi-step math, logical puzzles, writing that needs real depth. Yes, it's slower than Fast, but the quality jump is noticeable. And for work or study tasks, that extra processing time is absolutely worth it. Grok 4.20 Beta. The 4-agent powerhouse. Okay, now this is the one everyone's talking about, and honestly, it's unlike anything else on the market right now. When you select Grok 4.20 Beta, your question doesn't go to one AI, it goes to 4. Here's how it works. There are 4 specialized agents: Grok, Harper, Benjamin, and Lucas. And each one has a specific job. Grok is the captain. It breaks down your question, coordinates the team, and synthesizes everything into the final answer. Harper is the researcher and fact-checker. It runs real-time searches, taps into the X firehose, which processes roughly 68 million English posts per day, and verifies every claim. Benjamin is the math and code specialist. Anything involving logic, calculations, or programming goes through Benjamin. And then there's Lucas, the creative mind, handling divergent thinking, alternative approaches, and making sure the output is polished and readable. All 4 of these agents process your question at the same time, in parallel. They don't just work independently, though. They actually debate each other internally, challenge assumptions, and cross-verify before Grok pulls it all together into one unified response. This peer review process is why Grok 4.20 has reportedly cut hallucinations by around 65% compared to earlier versions, bringing the error rate down from roughly 12% to about 4%. Now, there's a catch. Because 4 agents are working simultaneously, 4.20 Beta is the slowest mode. You'll notice it takes longer, but for complex, multi-domain problems, coding projects, business strategy, research deep dives, anything where you need both depth and accuracy, this mode is genuinely in a league of its own. And here's something wild. In the Alpha Arena live stock trading competition, Grok 4.20 was the only AI model to turn a profit. It took 4 of the top 6 spots while competitors from OpenAI and Google finished in the red. That tells you something about how this multi-agent system handles real-world complexity. Heavy mode, the nuclear option. Finally, there's heavy mode. This is Grok 4. Heavy, the absolute maximum compute Grok can throw at a problem. XAI says it saturates most benchmarks and was the first model to hit 50% on one of the hardest evaluation exams out there. Heavy mode essentially scales up the parallel hypothesis testing even further. This is not your daily driver. It's slow, it's resource intensive, and for 95% of tasks, it's overkill. But for that remaining 5%, frontier-level math problems, novel research questions, the absolute hardest challenges you can throw at an AI, heavy is there when you need it. Custom instructions, the sleeper feature. All right, now let's talk about something most people completely skip. Custom instructions. You'll find this option in the same drop-down menu where you pick your mode, and it lets you tell Grok two things: who you are and how you want it to respond. The who you are part is where you give Grok context about yourself, your profession, your expertise level, what you're working on. The how to respond part is where you set the tone, the detail level, the format you prefer. Here's why this matters more than people realize. Without custom instructions, every conversation starts from zero. Grok has no idea if you're a PhD researcher or a complete beginner, but once you set these up, every single response is tailored to you. If you're a developer, tell Grok that you'll get code-first answers instead of high-level explanations. If you prefer concise answers, say so. It fundamentally changes the quality of what you get back. One small note though, even with custom instructions set, Grok will sometimes add extra context if it thinks accuracy requires it. That's by design, and honestly, it's a good thing. Prompt tips that actually work. Now that you know the modes, let's talk about how to actually talk to Grok to get the best results, because even if you pick the perfect mode, a weak prompt gives you a weak answer. Tip 1. Be specific about what you want. This sounds obvious, but almost nobody does it well. Instead of asking, "Tell me about AI trends," try something like, "Summarize the top 3 AI infrastructure trends from the last 6 months, include specific companies and investments, and format it as a brief with sources." See the difference? You're telling Grok exactly what to deliver, how to structure it, and what level of detail you expect. That one change alone will transform your results. Tip 2. Break big tasks into steps. If you've got a complex question, don't dump everything into one massive prompt. Break it down. First, ask Grok to gather the relevant facts or verify a specific claim. Then, in a follow-up, ask it to analyze or synthesize what it found. This multi-turn approach plays directly into Grok's chain of thought capabilities, and studies on prompt engineering consistently show that step-by-step decomposition improves analytical depth significantly. Tip 3. Match your mode to your task. Here's a quick cheat sheet that'll save you a lot of time. For daily chatting and quick questions, use fast. For work tasks, studying, or anything that needs careful reasoning, use expert. For complex research, coding projects, or multi-domain problems, use Grok 4.20 beta. And for the absolute hardest, most extreme challenges, try heavy. Don't be afraid to experiment either. If fast doesn't quite nail it, bump up to expert or 4.20 beta and see the difference. Tip 4. Lean into 4.20. Beta's multi-agent strengths. When you're using Grok 4.20 beta specifically, think about tasks that naturally benefit from multiple perspectives. Coding projects are a great example. Benjamin handles the logic, Harper checks against documentation, and Lucas suggests cleaner approaches. Business strategy analysis works incredibly well too, because you're getting data-driven insights and creative thinking in the same response. Even content creation gets a boost, since Lucas focuses on style, while Harper keeps everything factually grounded. The key insight here is that Grok 4.20 isn't just a smarter single model. It's a fundamentally different approach to problem solving. Once you start framing your prompts with that in mind, the results get dramatically better. That's everything you need to know to actually get the most out of Grok 4.20 beta. We covered the full interface, broke down every mode so you know exactly when to use each one, set up custom instructions to make Grok work for you specifically, and went through prompt strategies that genuinely make a difference. The biggest takeaway? Stop leaving it on auto and hoping for the best. Match your mode to your task, be specific with your prompts, and let the 4-agent system do what it was built to do. If this helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm covering all the latest AI tools and updates so you're always one step ahead. Drop a comment and let me know which Grok mode you're going to try first, or if you've already been using 4.20 beta. Tell me what's impressed you the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.